since I've already covered the entirety of the Avenged Sevenfold CDs that I own, which is all of them, it's time to go through each of them individually and give them their own love as they deserve. And obviously, since we're going to go in order here, we got to start with the first one they ever released, Sounding the Seventh Trumpet. I absolutely love the visual of this cover, mostly because for me it makes me think of the Barmaly statue in Stalingrad, which is, kind of cool looking, but also it's not just a statue. They changed the hue of the cover to be more purple, so it has a different tone than you might expect, which I think works really well, especially when you have these four flowers on each corner that kind of help center the entire thing. I just really enjoy the looks of this, and for their first cover art, it's really cool. And then you have the lights beaming down from above with the whole angel thing. It really works. Now, one thing to note really quickly is that Sounding the Seventh Trumpet is actually written in cursive. And if you look at the side of the case here, through the transparent portion, you can see Sounding the Seventh Trumpet also written in that cursive lettering, which I think is really neat. Plus, I actually prefer to write in cursive. I really can't write in regular print anyways, so that's just a bonus for me. And then the side of the case, it also has the cursive Sounding the Seventh Trumpet. Nothing too crazy, but it's not a basic thing either. It at least put a little bit of work. You can see that there's some coloring behind the text, which makes it better than just being a bland black background. But yeah, Hopeless Records right there, Avenged Sevenfold, Sounding the Seventh Trumpet. Pretty cool. And then when you open it up, this is how it looks. Unfortunately, the CD itself is pretty much basic, except for the fact that they have the Deathbat skull on there, which is kind of cool. Otherwise, it's the most basic CD look that you can actually accomplish, so that's pretty unfortunate. And then if you take the CD out, this is what you can see behind it, which is a personal note from Avenged Sevenfold themselves to their family and friends, which is, I think, a really nice little touch that they added to it. You can pause it if you want to read it, but it's really just to their family and friends, which is still a really nice touch. And then on the left-hand side, you do have the paperwork, so let's go ahead and jump into that. So, of course, you get the cover. Now, when you open the paperwork, it is the folding open type, not the pages type, which I kind of don't mind. I really don't. I think it's kind of cool sometimes. And what I like even more is the fact that they actually put the lyrics into this one. Not only that, but they actually put a little effort into it as well. You can see that each title of the song has the purple coloring to it, but also it's in that cursive style that Sounding the Seventh Trumpet is in. So that's a really nice touch. Now, the background itself is mostly black, but they have the flower image that you can see right there, and then they have the death bat right there, and at the end they have another flower, but I'll just kind of slowly pan through it so that if you want to read any of the lyrics or anything like that, or just look at it, you can. But overall, it's, not bad at all. There's actual effort put into it, and you can tell. And it looks really nice. And then you flip it over, and this is what's on the other side. Avenged Sevenfold is M. Shadows on vocals, Zachy Vengeance on guitar, Sinister Gates on guitar, the Reverend Bartholomew Plague, or simply The Rev on drums, rest in peace The Rev, and Damon Ash on bass. And then just the website insert there, and you can kind of see them hiding around the death bat, which is kind of cool. And then here are just some little Easter eggs or fun facts that you may not know. I covered one or two of these in my overall collection video, but if you want to go ahead and read these, you can. And then it's just back to the cover art. And this is the back side of the CD, with Sounding the Seventh Trumpet in cursive at the top, and then all the songs on it. I enjoy the art of Subconscious Illusion, and I also enjoy Warmness on the Soul. The background itself isn't anything special, but doesn't really need to be, I guess. And then they just have the Hopeless Records at the bottom there. Overall, pretty good CD. I mean, if you're an Avenged Sevenfold fan, this is obviously a must-have. Would I listen to the CD daily? No, I'd be listening to like Nightmare, The Stage, and a few other albums daily. But it's still a good CD to have, and overall, I'm glad I have it.